Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Well, it's a lovely rainy day here in the UK as usual. Absolutely gorgeous. But anyway, never mind, we're going to do some crafting. So today I'm going to show you how to make these cool notelet boxes. So you can store your cards in here. This was made with 8.5 inch by 11 card. And you can see that you can fit your lovely little, do you like how I wrote this in here? 4.25 by 5.5. So I'm learning. So there we go. So you can store all your little cards that you've made in there, or you could even give them away as a gift pack. So really nice ideas there. You could sell them as well, don't forget. So especially at Christmas, if you're going to make some Christmas cards, pop them in a gift box and sell them on your craft store. Absolutely cool. Made a belly band for that one. It just goes over the top. So that's the first one I'm going to show you. The second one's the A4 one. Now I did this one in centimetres, but I'm going to show you how to do it in inches and tell you what the centimetre measurements are as well. So this is a full A4 Hunkydory cardstock. And what happens here is with our A4 paper, you can fold it into 4 and make little notelets. And this is the Hunkydory little books that are sold, and you can just put a whole sheet onto the front, so really inexpensive to do. And again, same ideas, either batch make, keep them for yourself, give them as a gift. They're just a really nice little idea. Now this one, just hold it back and pop it in like that. Now I'm going to show you how to make both of these. Like I say, the other thing is I've designed these so that they've got a little stopper just here and across there, and what that does is that stops this front piece from falling in, because I used to make them where they never had these bits and they used to just collapse in there. So I've designed them in such a way that now they're all complete, and when it's closed it's like a little box. So let's get started and show you how to do that. Thanks very much to everyone that's subscribed already. I do really appreciate it, and if you haven't already, then please do so, because I know I've got an audience now and I'll be able to make more and more for you. I'm going to have a little bit of shine from the light at the top there, but hopefully you can see the score lines there, the numbers. So 8.5 by 11 inch. So what we're going to do, take our scoring tool from the scoreboard. Now if you put it portrait first of all, and this is double-sided card, so it looks really nice when you use double-sided. So we could make it the opposite way to what I did the other one. So with the 8.5 inch, we've got it on inches, and we're going to score it 1/4 all the way down. And this is where it's portrait, so you've got the 8.5 along there. So 1/4 inch, then again at 1, 7.5, and 8.25. So that's that side done. Landscape, switch it around. We're going to score it at 2.5. 3.25, 7.75, and 8.5, like that. So there you go. Now, just out of interest, if you have the flap and you want that flap to have a pattern on it, you're going to have to put it at this end, okay? So if it's a cardstock like the one I used here, where there's only one part of the card with a pattern, put it to the right and make sure that you make that your flap end, okay? So I'll just remove the scoreboard because we're finished with that for now. I'll get it back out when we do the A4 one. So what we need to do now is do some folding and cutting. If you fold it first, you can see the cut lines a little bit better. So this little piece here, you're only going to keep the centre part of that. So as long as you start in the centre with it, it doesn't matter if it goes off at the ends here. And then the next line in. And there's not much to these, so they're really, really simple to do as well. Just reinforce all of those score lines and you get a better look at what you're going to be cutting. Okay, so we'll have this one as the bottom end. So the bottom end is cut differently to the top end. So with the bottom end, what you need to do is you're going to cut this little 1/4 inch piece off. So just going to go around and cut those off. We don't need those. And we'll cut them off to the next tab as well. So across that centre pad there, we just remove those. Actually, I'm going to do it at a little angle. We've got a little angle there. Okay, so just remove that one. And we'll do the same on the other side. Should have got some bigger scissors. Got loads. just a little bit of an angle there. So we've removed that part from there. And then the other thing you need to do, now I've designed this with these tabs so that they go onto this bottom part. I did do it. It's easier to cut here and here and have the tabs going up. But when you do that, what happens is when you put your cards in, if they're a little bit tight, they catch on there and you can get dogged corners, which we don't want. So if you cut that way and then up, we have our tabs vertical, if you like. And that's a lot nicer look. So again, I'm going to cut along there and up there. Now that's it for the bottom end. That's all done for the bottom end now. So we're going to move those little pieces out the way so I can show you the top. So the top's a little bit different, like I said. So what you need to do with this one is we're going to cut all of those off. So last time we kept this bit and only cut the 1/4 inch. This time we're going to take the whole 1 1/4 inches off. So we're going to go down to there, but only the first top half like that. So just removing that, and that's our top end. Now I've rounded the corners on mine, and it does look nice if you do things like that, but you don't have to. So we'll leave this one without, save on the time. And again, just take that off of there, like so. And then here again, just going to cut these bits off. And we'll make that little shape in a minute. So we're just going to cut the little bits off here. So you don't cut this tab, you leave this tab intact. You just cut those 1/4 inches off. Now what we need to do is from there to there, we need to make a score line. Now I've put my scoreboard away, so we'll just use a ruler. Just going to grab a ruler if I can find one. You wouldn't think this was a craft room, would you? Hang on a sec, I'll just go and get a ruler. Right, got my ruler. So you're going to go this way, and you're going to go from that cut point there. So we've got a little cut point there and there. You're just going to make a score diagonally across there, going out from this top part. So make sure you go out from the top part. So just over to there. So across there to there. Give that a score like that. That's where you're going to cut it. And then do it the other way. Now you don't have to score the first one that I showed you. That's just to show you where to cut it. But this is the one that's important, that way. So on this one we'll just do the one that way. Now if you put some paper or foam pad or something like that underneath, then you'll get more of an indent into your score line. I'll show you how to do it on the scoreboard in the next one. So we're not going to do that one because you can do it by eye. So on here we've got our directions of we need to cut diagonally across there so we can see where we've got to go. And then you just carry on and snip that final little piece that we didn't do. Like that, to get that shape in the end. And then the same with this one. I'm going to just line up my scissors point to point and cut them off like that. And then you don't have too much bulk underneath the top edge. And this is where you would, like there I can see, can you see there's a little bit of a fold still? So I might need to snip that off because I've probably not cut it quite in far enough. And then what we need to do is make these go inwards. So just join, you can see the score lines there and there. You've got your score line on there. So just gently push them together and they will form into a point. Do the same on the other side. So just push that in and then get these two sides to line up like that. Okay, it's difficult to show you with the camera because it's a bit too tall. But I'll put it down flat and show you. So these two are going in there and there. Okay, so you can just reinforce that score line just there. So you've got those little two pieces in there. Now they don't get glued or anything. They're just there to protect, like I say. So you can see when that comes over and the box is made, they'll just stop this top piece from falling in. So now what we need to do is add some glue. Now with these bits, you don't have to put glue on there, and I find it easier to put it on the bottom bit. But if you want to, if you do it on the bottom bit, it's a lot easier actually, because what it means is you won't go too far. So if you go there to there, on the other side of that first score line, just cut that off. Move my microphone lead getting in the way. Then and rub it down. Then what will happen is when that's folded in, that will come up and it won't go too far. If you put the tape on here, you could have the tape overhanging too far. So do it on the bottom piece. It's a lot easier. Just put a little bit of red liner tape because it's a bit stronger onto there. Like, I haven't gone right to the end, but I'm not worried about that. Oh, puppy. He's just knocked over the scoreboard. Bless him. It's like, Mum, you're ignoring me. So also we need to put tape. So this is on the inside of the box. We put tape just on the edges here. All wet glue. Now wet glue is so much easier because you've got manoeuvrability with it and wiggle time. But with me, I don't have the time for it to dry and show you the next stage. So that's why I use tape. I am quite a glue person. I do prefer glue. Now with these ones, tabs, let's fold it back so you can see a bit better. What I like to do is cut these so they don't get in the way. So just take the sides off of each of them like that, because you can see there the score. You can see the score line, so it's in the way. Just like that, and that's that bit. And the last thing to do is to pop some tape or glue onto these. I'm going to put some glue on there. So just turn them up. So some glue to the back of these, which is the right side. So you're flipping these up and putting it on the right side, like that. My little pin. Always use, if you're using a pin in the ends of your bottles, always use a stainless steel pin. They're more expensive, but they don't rust and make the glue go discoloured. Now it's just a question of putting this together. Everything seems to have disappeared that I got out for this demo. Quite strange. So these ones, you can do this bit first if you like. It's really important to get these two lined up like that. So get that really nice and neat, because that's going to be your box. That's why I should have used tape, because it's not going to dry quick enough. So just do it again. Squash that on and hold it. And this one. Come on, glue. Be quick. I'll use tape on the next demo. I'm just going to hold that there. So we've got nice, neat bottoms now to our box. Did have. You will dry. Now we're going to take the tape off of here. Do these ones next. And then we fold over our little 1/4 inch strip there. And then we're just going to make sure, I'm going to have to turn this card over. We don't want to go over the score line there. So just make sure that it's within the score line. And that'll be attached to that. And then again with this one, just onto the 1/4 inch. So I need to turn this around this way. This is just holding that there, because you've got a score line there that's going to wrap around. That's moved, hasn't it? I knew that had moved, that glue didn't hold. So give that a little squash. Like that. Now we just take our tape off the sides. Now I normally would do this all at the same time. And then we just wrap that one around, and I'll show you closer on this side. Just take that off. Oh, that one off. So we've got our little 1/4 inch stuck down, and then we just fold this one back. And that's the one where I said to you I didn't cut it straight, and you can see that. But you can take it off at the end. You see, look, I've got that little bit hanging off there. Now that would really annoy me, but you can just snip it down. Doesn't affect the box. So that's actually it. So we've done the reverse of the other one we did. And there's your box, and you can see these pieces, they protect it, these squashed pieces if you like. When they go down, they protect it to stay in place. And there's your box. So really simple. So now onto the A4. We'll just grab the A4 card. We've got our A4 card. Now we're going to do this one in inches, like I said, and then we can compare the two, because we've got the A5 one here. Sorry, the A4 one done in centimetres, which is slightly different. And then I've got the A4 that we're going to do in inches. And you can see the difference in size. And I'll show you how the notelets fit inside as well. So I'll just grab back my scoreboard. There we go. So with the A4, the inches are going to be completely different to obviously what I just did with 8.5 by 11. Excuse me. So when it's landscape, we go at 2 3/4. Again, if you want a pretty pattern, have it up this side. If you've got an edge that you want, a border or anything. So 2 3/4, 3.5, 7 3/4, and 8.5. and that's the landscape measurements. And then the portrait measurements are 1/4 all the way down, 1, 7 1/4, and 8. And that's that. So we'll move this out of the way again. Hopefully the puppy will leave it alone this time. Won't have a crash bang wallop. So again, it's exactly the same principle. So we fold in our sides. Like this. And then we fold up along there. And this is Hunkydory cardstock, which is a very heavyweight card indeed. So you need to reinforce those score lines when you're using your Hunkydory. It's amazing stuff. Doesn't crack or anything when you bend it, and it's really super strong. So really nice to have. So there we go. That's all of that done. I believe I folded them all. Did I not fold that one? No, I haven't folded the second one in. Just that one. And along there for that one. So again, we're going to do exactly the same cut. So if you missed it last time, it's going to be the same principle as there at 1/2 by 11. I've just done different size score lines, so you can watch again and learn. So if this is the bottom, it doesn't really matter on this one, which is which. I think this should be the bottom though. I think they're slightly different in size. So you'd probably want the longer top at the top. I don't think it really matters too much. So with the bottom, you only take off the 1/4 inch. So you only take off this piece here. But you take it off up to the first score line and to the second score line. And then just snip there. And if you remember, I did a little angle. Just so as it doesn't get in the way of folding. That's all that is really. So we take off the 1/4 inch here. All the way up to the second line. And then a little angle snip to join that point there. I've put the scoreboard away, and I said I'd show you how to do these corners at the top, so I'll get it back out in a minute and show you. So if you remember, we come in from the side and we cut in to that next score line, in from the side and cut in. Then we have to cut up, cut in far enough, cut up there, and then cut across that way. It doesn't really matter where you do those. It's not that important on those cut lines. These are, but when you're doing the tab, this section here, when you're just going to make them a little bit, fold it up so you can see. It doesn't actually matter what shape you make them. No one's going to see. Unless they look in the bottom of the inside of your box. But there you go. You can always put a liner in there so nobody will ever know. Okay, so with this one, well, shall I show you the top first? So with the top, we're just going to take off these 1/4 inches, and then I'll get my scoreboard out and show you how to do that. Sorry, it's all of the top, isn't it? We take all of the top off, the whole 1 1/4 inch, but only down to the first score line. So all of that, but only down to the first score line. And then we cut that off. So that section's gone. And that section's gone. So we can take off our little 1/4 inches on the tab that folds and stops the top falling in. Just take that off there. Take it off. There. So that's our shape. So that's the shape you get with both. That's what it should look like with both of them. So I'm just going to bring back my scoreboard and show you how to score these top tabs with the scoreboard. So I've drawn lines on mine, and it makes it so much easier. You have to use a permanent marker there, or the ink will come off. So make sure you use a permanent marker. So what I tend to do is just fold over my card till I get one of the points. But I need to do this way because I need that score line to come out. So we'll fold it over the other way. So I can see that score line's there. So what I tend to do is get that score line onto a line, any line. and put my school tool in there and hold it tight. Then I'll spin the card around until I've got it so I know it's in the line. And now I can make that score down through there, like that. And that's how you do it with the scoreboard. So always fold it back, so you know you want that score line to be in that line. Get your school tool in there and then spin it while your school tool's in there. And then come down to the point. And that will give you the line that you need. Then what we do is we're going to go right across, so we can cut this at the same time. Line up your scissors to go all the way across like that. Take that section off, and then I'll go this way. From that point to that point, and off the little bit. So really simple to do. I'll move this out of the way because it's got quite a lot of reflection on it. That's why I use this black mat. So now we're going to add our tape again. So if you remember, this is the bottom. What we have is we have tape here, so we have the red liner tape especially. I would use red liner or wet glue all the time anyway with when you're making boxes and things. So you put your red liner tape on there, snip it off, and this is on the inside of that score line, just on the inside. You can't go any more than 1/4 of an inch because it will go into the box. So that goes on there, and then we have tape, and this is on the wrong side. Still, the inside of the box, tape on there and there, tape on there and there, there and there, there and there, and then we pull these flaps up and we put it on the right side. So I'm just going to add a little bit of tape so save time, but obviously when you're doing it, use red liner or wet glue and hold it in place till it's dry before you do the next stage. We're impatient, aren't we? We need to be patient and let things work before we go on to the next stage. I'm terrible. So I'm just going to take these off and we're going to make those corners good. So we've got our fold there, got a bit of tape hanging over, push it out of the way, and we're going to make those corners line up and push down. And again, same on the other side, so we've got a tab there. Just going to go around and make that corner good, like so. Push it down maybe, go from the inside out. There you go, it's in now. So now you can see we've got, with the white you can see it a lot better, we've got these little 1/4 of an inch pieces here. So now we take off, I'm going to take off all the tape this time because it's easier. So just take off all of the tape. Red liner tape gets everywhere, doesn't it? It just loves being with you. Doesn't ever want to leave you. Turn it around and do these. Rain stopped, yay! Okay, so this is where you'd round your corners as well before you make the box if you're going to do that. So we're going to do like we did before. So if you fold these backwards because you've got tape on them and you don't want them to join yet, you want to get the red liner in line. So bring your box up and just push it down so that it's in line like that. And you may need to go inside the box and just rub it from the inside out. And again with this one, try and show you it the other way around. Just get that in and then just rub, push against it like that. And then these just fold around. Fold around, and like I say, tidy up those edges. Oh, I didn't cut that very straight, did I? It's difficult for me to see, so I work a little bit away from myself. Usually I have things a bit closer because I've got problems with my eyes. So there we go. So that's that one. So you can see that if I fold that piece, I need to reinforce these score lines. Actually, that's what I didn't do, isn't it? So those score lines we made, you need to reinforce them, make them join to there, and again push that one in and make it join to there, and then it'll go over. So there you go, that's the box in inches, the A4 card in inches. The first demonstration was 8.5 by 11 inch card, and that was in inches. And then I'm just going to take out one of these notelets and show you how they fit. So in the A4 box, which was done in centimetres, we've got quite a bit of wiggle room side to side and not much at the top there. And then in this one, we'll see how it fits in this one with inches. it's quite the same really. You've probably got the same sort of wriggle time, if not, movement, maybe a little bit more and a little bit tighter to the top, but they still fit in there. So you can do it in centimetres or inches, it's up to you. Now to make the notelets, like I said, all you have to do is fold a piece of card in half, paper in half, and this is just copy paper. Don't do heavyweight because it might be too strong. And then you just take one of your Hunkydory toppers and you just glue it to the front and you've got yourself a little notelet. So really, and you could, you know, even write all over it. So you've got lots of room to write. What a posh shopping list. Take that to your local supermarket. So you can see, there we go, that's it. So what I'm going to do is just explain to you how you would do this box if it was centimetres. So if you're using A4 card, I'm going to tell you now what you need to score at. So get a notepad and pen and I'll give you the dimensions. So when the card is portrait, score at 1/2 centimetre, 2.5 centimetres, 18.5 centimetres and 20.5 centimetres. And when it's landscape, score at 7 centimetres, 9 centimetres, 20 centimetres and 22 centimetres. So I think that covers all areas. So I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Give me a like, a subscribe and hit the notification bell for the next one. Thanks for watching guys. Happy crafting. Bye.